between one and two-sided limits. The relationship is if the limit as x approaches a from the right of f of x is equal to some number L, and the limit as, I'll put a big if here, and the limit as x approaches a from the left for that same function also equals L, then we can draw a conclusion. If those two one-sided limits are both approaching the exact same number, which we're just calling L, then what that is going to tell us is that the double-sided limit, the two-sided limit, exists and also equals L. The last part on this video, we're actually going to need to look at our graphing calculator for a minute. I do have an electronic version of the graphing calculator, and for, I guess for our distance learners, I'll be having to share that link for you guys at home on how to get that. It's kind of a temporary one that Texas Instrument has been sharing with us. So I'm going to just go ahead and minimize. Let's see, let me really quickly change my view here. I could try to minimize this, maybe. Okay, so that I can get my calculator open. And I'm going to turn on the Texas Instrument in at home, if you could please, if you have your Texas Instrument, turn it on. These take a little while to turn on, and so that can be a little bit overwhelming at first couple times you use them. You'll kind of get used to the idea that when you first get into class, you'll just turn it on so you don't have to wait so long. These calculators will become your first or second best friend, followed maybe by Earl or myself over this year, or Mr. Gannon. But you will probably hate these calculators at first and be a little mad at us that we're asking you to use them. But as time goes on, you're going to think that these are amazing calculators. One of the things students don't like about them when they first get them is where the keys are and how small the keys are. And so that can be a little bit annoying because you're used to bigger buttons on your other calculators. And so, and this one's taking a little extra time to load than your calculator might, just because of the fact that the teacher version has a little bit extra stuff on it, so it takes a while to load. Now, when you use your calculator for the first time, you might have to hit OK a couple times in order to get it to work well. So what I'm going to do on this calculator is I'm going to go ahead and add a calculator to this. Okay, so your screen may or may not look like this. Your screen may look more like that. So what I'm going to do, these little arrows allow you to toggle back and forth to the left and right side of menus. If you could make sure you're on the left side, and if you don't have calculate highlighted, if you have graph, maybe move it up to calculate and then hit the enter button. And what you're going to see is a screen that just looks like a regular calculator screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve the next problem in our notes. And the next problem in our notes asks us to fill out a table and to try to look at a problem from a tabular view. And looking at it from a tabular view isn't always actually super easy in this calculator, or in this system here for this calculator, but I'm going to show you something that's a little bit more useful. It might take a couple keystrokes at the beginning, but it will be something worthwhile for you to learn later on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this function g, and I'm going to actually store this function in the calculator. So here's what I'm going to do. Let me just enlarge this so you can see it better. I'm going to use this typing menu at the bottom of the calculator, and I'm going to type g of x, g, and then parentheses of x. It's in alphabetical order instead of your normal keyboard order, which is a little annoying. To tell the calculator that I'm going to assign a formula to this, I'm going to use the blue control button, followed by this little funny little button to the right of the 9. It's like a colon equals. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the expression that was given for this function. Now I might be going faster than you feel quite prepared to go, so you might need to pause this video as needed. After I've got it typed in, and I do want to put parentheses around the numerator and denominator here, then I'm going to hit enter. And when I hit enter, it's going to give me the message done. what this has done is stored this value. And so now what I can do is, they want me to fill out a table like using an input of 1.9. I can type G parentheses 1.9 and then equals, or enter, and it's going to calculate that for me. I can change it to the other inputs that they want me to use, like 1.99, and then again hit enter, and it'll give me another one. And I can keep doing that until I get all the values in the table. So I'm going to go ahead and now toggle back to this. I didn't spend time doing all of these because our video is getting to be too long, but I am going to write down for you what those would all be because I did them a little bit earlier. And these are the values that you would get using your calculator. My computer's mad at me. Like me better now? I've got a whole bunch of pens selected, so it's super mad at me. I'm gonna, oh, there it goes, hopefully. Okay, so this would be 0.25641. This is 0.2506. These are the values that we got from the calculator. This is 0.25006. This one, when you put it into the calculator, will give you an undefined. You'll probably look at this equation. This would be 0.2438. And that's not true. This is 0.024994. This one's 0.24938. And this one's 0.24399. And so they want us to evaluate this limit as we approach 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, well, what is the height as I approach 2 from the left? What height are we getting close to? What height are we getting close to as we approach from the right? And if we look at these values, we might notice this one's getting closer and closer and closer to 2.5. And so are these. And so this limit would be 2.5. Sorry, not 2.5, 0.25. Doing awesome. Sorry about that. All right, this is the end of this video. It is not quite the end of our notes. So take a minute, take a breather, end this video, and then please find the next one so that you can